Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Dr.Aftab Ahmed, with the program Innovative Pakistan with Dr. Aftab. And today we have very talented guests with us, and that include Ms. Arij and Ms. Ramisha.
Yes.
So they are here today in our studio at Radio Pakistan FM 87.6, and they have a very special device that they have made, and that can detect the drugs. So this is what we are going to talk today. That what was their motivation to start this project, and what this project and what this device can do, and how this can be useful for the community in Pakistan, not only in Pakistan but also internationally. So let's have some introduction of our guest today, and then we'll talk about their project that they have done. So actually what happened, let me tell you the story. So I was one of the judges in the fixed program. That is a program started by National University of Science and Technology, and these guys, they have presented this project there, and I was like super excited to know about their discovery that they have done and the invention and innovation they have made. So I specifically invited them that they should join us in Radio Pakistan so we can talk more about the project they have done. So without further delay, let's begin our discussion. So can you please briefly introduce yourself, especially tell us about your educational journey, starting from your primary education, where you have taken your primary education, and then finally your journey till NUST.
So basically, I did my metric from APS Chikara, then my FSC from APS Hamza, and then I gave my NET 2 and 3, and I got selected into NUST. Then I opted for the software engineering. Basically, my interest was in problem solving, and something that's being able to solve some real world problem instead of memorizing the old concepts, and I wanted to do something innovative, and that's why I opt for this degree, software engineering. And then throughout my journey, now I have also given my finals, and yes, we are done with this, and we are graduating in September, hopefully.
Okay, very nice. So what about Miss Ramisha?
So basically, I'm from Wakan, and all my educational institutions are from Wakan. Like I did my metric from Bahia Foundation College, and then Scholars College from Wakan, and then I gave NET 1, 2, and 4, and then I got selected into NUST, just like her. And then I wanted to do software engineering after my metric examinations. Like I was quite interested in coding, so that's why I opted software engineering, and now we're graduating.
Okay, very nice. So like there are so many universities in Pakistan. There are over 250 universities now in our country. And what was your motivation of joining NUST?
Basically, NUST is considered a number one university of Pakistan, and secondly, my father also graduated from NUST, so I just followed his footsteps.
Okay, and what about you?
In a practical field, I've seen that many NUST graduates get jobs very easily, and so that's why.
So it was mainly the job, like
yes,
they can
exactly
easily get the job. So
yes.
now briefly, we can discuss about your journey in. So you have spent like 4 years. So how was your overall experience? Like our audience, they are mainly the students and young scholars. So they will be very happy to listen that like in 4 years, what you have seen in NUST. Was according to your expectations? Like before you go to any university, you have some expectation that university will be like this and the life will be like this, and especially your own degree. So like university expectations and your degree expectations.
Here, first of all, I would like to clarify that I'm not in SEEKS. I'm basically in the Military College of Signals. That's also a campus of NUST, and I'm studying my software. I did my degree from there. And as you know, it's a military institute, so it was really disciplined, and we have to be on time. The timing was from 8 to 2. That was, I think, good thing. That was a good thing. And instead of wasting the whole day, it was really scheduled, and you have to be there on time. After that, it was a good experience, and फिर वही बात एक आ जाती है कि यू हैव टू लर्न बाय योर सेल्फ. वो ये होता है कि जितना मर्जी अच्छा टीचर आपको मिल जाए, जो मर्जी हो जाए, तब जब तक आपके पास खुद पैशन नहीं है, सो यू कैन नॉट, I don't think so you can excel in your field until and unless you have passion in yourself to pursue something.
And what about yours?
Basically, I did not come from a military background, so it was really hard for me to adjust at first. Like, it was so disciplined and there were so many rules, like we had to wear uniform, and if you didn't wear uniform, but it's good. Everything should be disciplined, and the instructors were really good, and our CSE department instructors, they guided us throughout our journey, and it was really good.
So that's really interesting to know. So now let's come to your final year project. So like, you can do anything. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of ideas in your mind. So how you come like specifically to work on this idea that you have chosen for your final year project?
Basically, at that time, I was the group leader, and we were going through many projects. Me and Rimisha, we were first of all, at that time, we thought we would develop a AI-based eyesight learning app, but so at some point we realized that it's not gonna that useful and it's already developed. So we wanted to do something innovative.
Like, we wanted to do something for the society. We wanted to solve a problem, basically.
Yes, we wanted to do something that can solve a common man problem instead of here I'm not saying that we shouldn't advance in technology, we should, but I think first of all we should start solving the problems of society from the base so that we can all move together. So the main purpose was to solve a problem that a common man is facing. As you know, in nowadays in the name of adventure, children are doing these things, and these things are getting very common nowadays. So I think this should be controlled, and it has a very wide scope. You know, you can deploy it at airports, at motorway, at entry exit points of Pakistan. As we know that many million of drugs, tons of drugs are smuggled through the Balochistan border. So yes, it was the main motive to stop these things. Not stop completely, but to mitigate it to some
but I think
extent.
Our main motivation was students. Like, there were so many cases coming daily, like students were taking eyes, chairs, and so we wanted to do something about it.
Yes, we wanted to do something about society. We wanted to make a positive impact on society, and that was our main motive behind it.
And we wanted to make a product that was publicly available. Like many products, like ANF have products, they have drug detectors, but they are for specific people. They are not for public, not for the society. So we wanted to make a product that was available for everyone.
Okay. So you have like worked with the like you have seen those instruments that they have, like ANF have. So what is the difference of the equipment they have and also yours one?
The equipments that ANF have, basically they are very expensive, and you cannot like give it to anyone that's not trained person. They have their own officers, and basically they conduct the test. But the device that we have,
a common man can use it.
A common man can use it, and you just have to know the basic, start on and off button, where from where you can on and off it, and how basically we also have developed a mobile app with it, and that's very simple, easy to use. You just have to press a start button, and all the calculations from the device, all the readings will go on that thing. Application.
Okay, that's right. So can we have a look of your device?
Yes, why not?
So here is the device that I'm holding. So this is actually device which can detect. So how many different kind of? So this is mainly
8 sensors.
So there are 8 sensors. They are embedded in this device. So what kind of drugs they can detect, and how they can detect?
So basically, it can detect, like, we have a model at the back end. And we have trained it, and on whatever drugs we have trained the model, it can detect only those drugs. And for now we have 7 drugs, like we have chairs, heroin, opium, acetic anhydride, cigarette, and some other, and a few others. So
basically, it detects the drug on the basis of the chemical composition. First of all, we studied about the drugs that we wanted to identify at that time. We were undergraduate student and we didn't have that much time to cover a lot of drugs. So we just targeted 2 or 3 drugs, and then we studied what kind of chemicals they contain, and then what kind of sensors that can detect those chemicals, and then we find out eventually that those sensors were available in China. They weren't in Pakistan. So then we approached Innotech. I would like to mention here, Innotech really helped us, and they financially provided us with the hardware. And after
I
that,
think it took over 2 to 3 months
Yes.
to get our
Yes.
hands over these
yes, the
sensors.
delivery process take 2 to 3 months
Yes.
from China, all over. Then after we integrated the device, we contacted ANF, Anti-Narcotic Forces. They really appreciated our idea, and they really liked this, the DG of ANF. And then they gave us permission to conduct the testing. Basically, the data weren't available online because the data is sensor dependent. So
Right.
we had to collect it by ourselves.
So we went through a legal process of 2
Yes.
months of for to get our device tested and trained on those drugs. So first we trained our drugs on first we trained our model on those drugs,
Right.
and then we tested it, and then we went again to ANF. So it was like 3 days.
Yes, 3
It was over
days
3
and the
days.
testing time period and
Testing and training took over
was
3 days.
different.
But the legal process was quite long.
Yes, the process to get the permission from
was
anti-narcotic
quite long.
forces, that was quite long, and that was the difficult part.
Yes.
So how it works? So finally, you actually trained your models,
Yes.
and you built. You had the sensors. You integrated that in this device, and then how many people you have tested? Have you done some random trials with this device? Or?
Yes, we did on cigarette because cigarette was our base case. But then the drugs that our device was detecting, that was very serious kind of drugs like acetone, heroin, and these that are not commonly available. So we just tested it in on the drugs that was
We have
in the
spirit,
NF.
we have spirit, adhesive,
Under
air,
their
cigarette.
supervision.
So we tested them on that.
And we also tested on the people who were smoking cigarette.
So what is the accuracy of your?
It's 98.7%.
Yes.
That's
quite
really.
Basically, the drugs are limited. Basically, they are 4 to 5, and that's why it's like this.
Every drug
we
has a
have-
very specific smell. So basically, these are smell specific sensors.
Right.
So every drug has a very specific and strong smell. So it is very difficult for a model to mix up these drugs. So the model detects them quite perfectly. So that is why the accuracy is 98.7%.
Okay, great. So I have seen there are quite empty spaces in your this
It's just a
prototype.
prototype. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So what will be the final size of this?
It will be
device?
like handy.
Have you seen those
hand-carry
thermal
torch.
sensors?
Mhm.
They're used to check temperature at airports,
Right.
and
Yes, it
So
can be
it
will
reduced to
be
that size.
like that
Yes.
size.
so it'll be
Okay.
like that.
Okay. So if you get an order even ANF want you make these kind of devices, they need maybe initially 1,000 pieces. So how much time you will take to make those 1,000 pieces for them?
It basically depends upon the availability of the devices, as
Especially the sensors,
yes,
as they come from China.
Yes, we ordered all of them from the China. So it basically depends upon that. Otherwise, it will take
I think 2 to
hardly 3 months.
3
yes.
months, because we have the data. We
Okay.
just need the sensors, and we can get them from China. It will take 2 months.
And how expensive these sensors are?
It is
Around 50K.
yes, the sensors are
Not that
50K,
expensive.
but overall
This
it
device
consumed 80K.
cost 80K.
Okay. So that's quite interesting that you have the cost of those sensors is not that high.
Yes, we try to minimize the cost as much as possible because we wanted it to make available to the common man, to the common people, to the
So
institutes.
why you want to make it available to the common man?
So
These types of devices are not commonly available. Like,
so I wanted it to make it available to the common people so that it can be detected at early stages you know, the things get carry on, and parents, your family members get to know about your drug consumption at very severe stage when the things get very out of control. So this is a device that it can detect at very early age.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. So, what will be your next step? Like, you have built this device. Are you going like for further studies, or you just wanted to like jump into the entrepreneurship and want to work more on this device?
Yes, first of all, we would like to make patent.
Yes, we're going to patent it, and then we are going to make it more compact.
Okay,
The next
interesting. So, and your like future ambitions are to go for further studies, like you have done your BS now. Are you
Yes.
going for MS or PhD?
Not right after the graduation, maybe in future, as we don't know what's in the future.
I think as a software engineer, it's better that we go into field.
Yes,
Like
it's
doing
better
masters and
to
PhDs.
go and field instead of studying. So, as if you're a software engineer and you have skill, I think you should excel in the industry.
So there is a lot of like work now in disease detection. Actually, I know one of the report from World Economic Forum, and they have mentioned that the breath-based disease detection is one of the innovation that is like the future innovation, which is very much coming. And this is also one of the things that is related to that. So according to that report, that is like the top 10 innovations which will be in the future innovation, which will, so in the future what will happen that you will go to doctor's office, and instead of like doing the battery of tests, they have to do lot of tests on you. Even like commonly you can go for the lipid profile, you can go for like liver functioning test, you can go for kidney functioning test, and so on. So there are so many tests we have to do. So in the future, one of the like innovation which is very much common is coming is your breath-based disease detection. So you can detect number of diseases, either like even for the cancer detection, for pneumonia, for like kind of different kind of cough. Is it through the viral infection or through the bacterial infection? So all these things you can do through your breath analysis. So you have done like one of the works. So are you like people thinking about developing something like that? Or you can do it?
Basically, when I was doing research on this project, when it wasn't developed, so there were multiple papers on these things that were detecting lung infection and heart diseases through your breath. So it's a thing that's already done, but I don't think there's any device in Pakistan that's doing this thing. So yes, in for the future, it can be enhanced in multiple ways. For example, our commandant also liked our idea, and he said that if it's trained on barood and gunpowder, it can also detect many weapons. So there are multiple usage. You just have to train your model on that specific smell, and then it can be used for that thing.
So that's like very interesting. So that's actually what I wanted to ask further. Like this is one of the things that I know, being a biologist, that this is very much coming into the field. So just like one of the thing she's mentioning, that this can be used for many others. So what other aspects it can cover? Like we are not just talking about the narcotics. So what else do you think like similar device can also, just like you have mentioned, it can also detect some explosives or kind of thing. So what else could be the applications?
So basically, this is a smell dependent device. So basically, anything that has strong smell, a pungent smell, it can detect that, and by training our model on that data, it can detect anything. It has quite a vast scope. Like
so that's why I actually wanted to ask more, like what is your future plan? Because for me, being a entrepreneur, it has like tremendous applications, and you people have done some like initial work and it's quite successful. So why not like going, instead of like going for some job? What is your like passion for being the entrepreneurs or innovators? So are you going to like take it further and make the devices? So how much motivated you people are for that?
we are quite motivated, because when we started the project, our main motive was to help people. We wanted to make it available for everyone. So I think that this motivation will drive us further, and we will make it more compact. We can make more designs, and we can train it further on quite a large data, and so it will be very, very helpful for people.
So what is like the thing which hinder you, or do you think could be the bottleneck in your progress of being the entrepreneurs?
Basically, when we were conducting the tests, it was winters, and now the temperature has rise. So
Our device is basically environment dependent. So I think that is quite a big
so
factor.
it has to be trained in winters, in summers, in springs, in every kind of
every
weather.
kind, yes.
So it can make more good predictions.
Right.
The more you train the device, the more data you
Accurate
provide
results
to
it will
it,
get.
the more accurate result it will produce. So I think this is the one thing we have to collect a lot of data. There is much way to go.
So definitely, so you can like collaborate with any body, just like you have collaborated initially with ANF. So you can collaborate with them once again, and you can like that shouldn't be a bottleneck for you, because you have done all the initial work of training your models and everything. So it will be a very small step. So what other obstacle do you think could be on your way to be the entrepreneurs?
It's a hard question.
Basically, you never thought it like this way.
Okay, so what kind of support is there from your own family? Like if you want to be entrepreneurs, for the entrepreneurs you need some initial funding, so you need money, you need some mentors. So I'm sure, like you being in NUST, you have a lot of mentors who can guide you further for this project. So I don't know about the funding. So if you are provided with the funding, I don't know how much funding is needed, but maybe initially you may need like 5 millions, so you can have your own small setup, laboratory, and maybe some rental and kind of things, and some of your own salary maybe for your initial work. So do you think your family is going to support you for this project?
Yes, our
Yes.
families are quite cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
And regarding taking this project further, we have we pitched our idea to many startups, and they liked our idea so much. So we can do that again. We can pitch our ideas, and they can provide us with the funds. So that is also possible.
So normally one thing is like comparison. So if all the sensors are made in China, and definitely they have you like checked the device they have made in China, and we can import that in Pakistan, and that could be a competitor for your.
Yes, in China, they have device, but the device particularly don't tell that what kind of drug the person has consumed, but it shows on the screen that a specific person has consumed a drug. So I have seen these kinds of things in China, and their bus driver has some kind of device right in front of their mouth, and after 1 hour they have to blow in that device. Otherwise the bus won't move forward.
And mostly drug detector tests are urine or blood based. So it takes a lot of time and effort to take those tests. And this is like smell based. You just blow on it and you get the results instantly. So that is why I think.
So what we have like seen in different movies and dramas, mostly it's like in Europe or in US, they go for like alcohol detection. Like drivers, they are not drunk, so that's a simple device in which you have to blow. So this is like lot more than that. So have you seen like any device while doing your research in which all these parameters are being covered?
Yes, there
And
was a
what will be the rough cost of that device?
We've seen
that was
devices-
really quite expensive. I would say it was above $500 that time when I saw that. But
We also saw some devices in Pakistan, like in UET and Pyaz. They have devices, but they're for like fruit freshness. Some have AI integration, and some like our app also has geofencing. Like we can pinpoint the locations on which the drug is detected, the case is detected. So all the features are not available in one device. Like some have AI integration, some have geofencing, but our device has everything.
So at what stage are you for the patent file application? So have you submitted it, or you are in the process of
no,
submission?
we are in the process of submitting the patent, as we have. I don't know about the results of Fix 2, but if we go to present it in the Fix Stage 3, then definitely we will get a patent for it.
So that's really good. I think because as you have mentioned that you have added extra features in it, just like you have mentioned that it have the geofencing facility. It has number of sensors in it that can detect different kind of narcotics. So definitely you can apply for the patents, and that will be very helpful for you.
Also,
like
it's an
taking it
AI
further.
based model that's basically making the predictions.
Mhm.
That's the main thing in this.
Okay. That's really interesting. So, like talking a little bit more about your device. So, as you have mentioned that it can also be like it's very much based on different kind of, just like you have mentioned that there are other devices available in Pakistan that can go for like the freshness of fruits and vegetables, and if there is some they are getting rotten, then they can also smell, and then you can also. So are you like thinking about expanding it to others applications, or you just want to focus more about narcotics?
This is a serious issue. I think that drugs and the percentage of our youth is getting involved in this kind
So
of
do you have
things.
like some rough idea about the number of drug addicts in Pakistan?
According to UN report of 2015, there was 10 million people.
So that's like a quite old data. Any new data? Like 10 million is also quite. So for me, like I have gone through one of the recent data, and that says that it's more than 30 million people now in Pakistan. They are kind of
Yes.
addicts. So
We see a lot of cases in our daily life. Like everyone is holding a cigarette and they're vaping.
Yes,
and
the vape has become immensely common.
cigarette smoking is like not kind of that addiction, but the
But
other
you know,
drugs.
from taking small steps lead you to the bigger steps. So I think it should be controlled at the earlier
Early
stages.
So definitely, I think this another very alarming thing that you have seen one of the report that were presented in the National Assembly of Pakistan, that in Pakistani, especially the schools in Islamabad, they are like there are so many cases of using drugs in those schools even. So I don't know that you have gone through that report or not, but it was the statistics were alarming. I think that was I think it's more than a year ago that was presented, and the statistics were really alarming. I can't even say here that this number is there, but it says that a huge number of students, even schools, they are using drugs. So if this device is successful, then that can have the application in schools, colleges, universities,
first of all,
factories, everywhere. So
yes, the device is there, but I think education and awareness from home and the school is also a very important thing. The teacher should educate and spread awareness to the children that this is not something for fun, or this is not to become cool. You know, the definition of becoming cool has now become
has become quite different. Like you take drugs and very
like if
cool.
you are having a
Yes.
cigarette in your hand and vape in your other pocket, then you are cool. So this is not cool.
Exactly.
So it actually very much depends also on your company, because if somebody is in your
Yes.
company and that is using drugs or is smoking, then they also like ask you take one, just puff and then it's fine, and then you after a few days you take more. So and this is how you actually go into that. So like overall what I've seen that there is a huge potential in your project. For me, being like entrepreneur, I can see that it has huge implications in Pakistan, being the huge number of drugs addicts in our country. Unfortunately, the number is increasing. As you have mentioned, it's not like only in the population. There are so many like reasons that why it's becoming more common. But like being, as you have just mentioned, that being cool in the schools and colleges, it's also like getting trend, and there are so many people who are using these kind of, so in like in our hostels, in our universities, in our schools, colleges. So this device has application everywhere. So I think being the young minds, and you have done quite a good job developing this kind of device. So you should take it further. That you should make it handy. You can make initially you can work out that how much funding is required for your next 2-3 years. You can calculate that after you're like completing your exams and everything. When you will be free, just sit and then you can work out, make a good pitch deck, just like you have made it initially. So you can make a one, and then you can like highlight the importance of your device. And I'm sure that you can easily get the funding. Funding will not be an issue for you, because this is very important, and this is of of national interest. Only the thing is how good you can make it. Like if you can make it in a better form, like it improve its efficacy, just like you have mentioned that it can we have to model it in spring, in summer, in winter, so you can like put more data, and you can work out that what could be like your next 2-3 years if you just simply focus on this device. I'm sure there is a huge potential for this device in Pakistan, and also not only in Pakistan, but there is a huge market. I can see that if like you can make in a cheaper way, we can sell it to whole Africa. that even like we can compete with the Chinese and with the European companies, and we can I even like tomorrow or day after tomorrow I can make a meeting arrangement for you people to one of my friend. He came from Somalia, and day before yesterday we had a meeting with him, and he's very much interested in Pakistan innovation, because he's here, he has a company back in Somalia, and he was very much interested. I'm sure if you people show this device to him, he will be your first customer in Africa before Pakistan, so he will take this device to his country.
Yes, it would be honor for us.
Yeah, so you people should like think more of translating kind of things. I must encourage you, because we had the discussion, even Dr. Kubra is sitting here, so after like listening your project, we had the discussion on the way back to home, and we talked a lot about your device, that this has a huge potential in Pakistan. Unfortunately, I couldn't talk to some of my police friend that how applicable could be in that in police stations and other places, but I'll definitely talk them, and then we can discuss like further that how we only there is a need, like I think for the next year you should spend to make it more handy and effective, improve its accuracy, and you could be the next billionaire from Pakistan. Just like we give the examples of billionaire that from different countries that they coined the idea, they started working, producing. Even you can like give sell your rights for the production. Some other third party could produce, and you can earn a lot of money from this. So after like giving this much discussion from my side, what are your feelings? What do you think now about your device and applications and motivation to work further on this?
I think it has vast applications. Like it basically depends on the data. It is not only drug based. It can be on the freshness of fruits. You can detect drugs, and by using breath, you can, as you were saying, we can detect diseases. So by getting the right data, right people, and by training our model on it, so we can expand its functionality and everything.
So Reach, what is your
Yes, when we introduced this idea to our department, there is a concern that it's gonna be hectic. But and we were all girls group. We were 4 members, and all were girls. So they were a little bit concerned at how you are gonna do this thing. But the main motive behind was to help a common person to detect drugs at early stages. So we didn't give up.
okay? Yes, that was also a strange thing for me, that all girls, they have worked on this project. If
Yeah,
there is
so
a boy, then it will be more like easy
so
for
we didn't give up on the idea, and then our department also supported us, and they were always there to help us in any query if we had.
Whenever we faced any difficulty, our department was always there.
Yes.
So finally, how it's going to work? So you have to like exhale in front of
yes,
this
but
sensor?
go in
the other
front
side.
of,
Like
you have to turn on the button from here,
Okay.
and then
Yes,
you
and
have
these are
to
the
go in
sensors.
front of the sensors, and then it's gonna send the reading to our backend.
And then our backend will
Yes.
detect it, and the result
Send
will be
to the
displayed on my
mobile
mobile
application.
application.
Okay, great. So you have done all that work.
Yes, yes.
So what is the name of this device?
Advanced
Basically,
intoxication
my father
analyzing
just
tool.
did the name for this. This is Advanced Intoxication Analyzing Tool.
So what will be the short? I think it's
Toxicheck.
Toxicheck or drug detector is basically the name that
Informal names that we
informal
give.
in that you can quickly grasp the idea about that what kind of thing it can be.
Okay, interesting. So I think our time is done. So lastly, we just wanted to ask you that what will be your message to the youngsters, the young people who are doing these kind of innovative projects. So what you would like to say to them?
I would like to say that there will be many hurdles and there will be time when you will think like giving up on the things, but if you think that your idea is good and the cause to start, you should remember why you started a project basically. You should remember and you should keep on working upon it. And there was a time when I used to think like if it's gonna complete or not, but you know but yeah, you can see in front of you that
I think the main thing is the idea. Once you get the idea, you get the motivation, so then it will be very easy for you to complete the project. And there will be many hurdles, but you can overcome it if you have enough motivation, if you're enough motivated.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Arij and
Ramisha.
For joining us today in FM 87.6 in Radio Pakistan, and bringing your device that can actually detect this different kind of drugs in real time, and with just blow off your breath in this device. So that's very interesting. So I was very much interested in this project, and I wanted to highlight it and wanted to showcase to our audience through our platform of 87.6. So thank you very much for joining us today in the studio, bringing your device, and we wish you good luck for your future endeavors. And specifically, we would like that you should work on this device because that's the need of Pakistan, and I really appreciate your motivation that you wanted to help the community, and this is a project definitely that will help the community. So thank you once again for joining us today in the studio.
thank you so much for inviting us as well.